Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sabrina and on this channel we talk about personal growth, university life and all things educational. In this video, I'll be duplicating this isometric drawing right here in AutoCAD 2025 and in the next video I'll be completing the dimensions or dimensions. But if you want to see the completed drawing in AutoCAD 2025, stay tuned and watch this video to the end. So currently I have my startup screen here and I'm going to go ahead and open a new drawing in metric. And that is because the measurements that I have for my isometric drawing, as you saw at the beginning of the video, is in metric. So let's go ahead and open a new drawing in metric. Now we have opened our drawing and we have our drawing space. We're going to go ahead and set our units and set up this space to do an isometric drawing. So we're going to type in units. You can see it come up and you can just select enter. Now this is the pop-up that you're going to see. In type, we're going to leave it on decimal because in decimal we would say that's millimeters, but if it's architectural we would say that's feet or inches. So if your units were in feet and inches, you would just select architectural, but I'm going to leave it on decimal. Now the precision, I am also going to leave it on 0. And that is because the drawing that I'm doing is at 0 decimal places. It doesn't have any decimal place, as you saw at the beginning of the video. I am also going to leave this in millimeters because that's the unit of measurement that I need. So this is already set. So I'm going to select OK. Next thing is your ISO draft. Because you're doing an isometric drawing, you need your ISO draft. This is when it would be off, so you would get lines anywhere. But when your ISO draft is on and you should draw a line, then there's a direction. Sorry, let me put this on. Okay, so there's a direction that it can go in without you actually manually setting that angle, right? As you can see, it's forcing it to go in a specific direction. Okay, so let me delete this. Now, you're not seeing my grid because usually when you're doing ISO draft, you can actually change the orientation. If you see my cursor right there and I click F5, it's actually changing the orientation. But if I go to this drop down over here, I see ISO draft, isometric drafting, and I click that, I can also select any one of these and change my orientation just the same. But clicking F5 is the easier way to do it. But you are not seeing what's changing. So what I'm going to do is turn on my grid mode. You will now see the grid. So again, if I should select F5 to change my orientation, you will realize that the grid is also changing. So if I should go here and select isoplane top, you would see the grid change. If I should select isoplane left, you see it change to the left. And if I should select isoplane right, it changes to the right. Right. See? It forces it in a specific direction. So we need to set that up for our isometric drawing. So once you have this, then your space is ready for isometric drawing. Can you believe that I recorded the entire drawing? Literally, I recorded half of the drawing and then the voice wasn't recording. But that's okay. Let me just delete this and start again. So let's begin our drawing. I suggest that you begin from the foundation of your drawing. So obviously before you build something, you always need to have a strong foundation. So what we're going to do, we're going to start drawing these two bottom lines right here. The one that says 108 and 48. So we're going to go ahead and select line, or we can type L, enter. That's the shortcut for the line command. So I'm going to start a little bit at the bottom, not too far, just right here. And I'm going to move my mouse around, because that's what you have to do. You need to move your mouse around to see if you're getting the direction that you want your line to go. And if not, you're going to change your orientation. So to get the 180 line, I need my mouse to be going to this direction. So 180, sorry, not 180, 108, my apologies. 108, escape, right? Now, we need to get the 48 millimeters. So we're going to select the endpoint and move it to the left. And that's going to be 48 millimeters. So now we have our foundation of the join. We're going to try and get our vertical lines. The one right, let me try and highlight it. The one right here and the one over here also. Now, the drawing tells us that the measurements for the vertical lines that are off here, they're 32 millimeters. But over here, it doesn't tell us what this line is, because you can see 6 to 4. But 6 to 4 is not the measurement of this line right here, highlighted in green, right? This one right here that I'm trying to highlight. It's not 6 to 4. But we know that the little cutoff piece that is up here is 8 millimeters. So what we're going to do is minus 8 from 6 to 4. So that's going to leave us with 56 millimeters. Now when we are join, when we complete our join at the top, we'll know if our measurement is correct. So let's do this. We're going to select the endpoints, going upwards. If you see, my mouse is not taking me where I want to be. So I'm going to select F5 to change my orientation, and now it's going up. So I'm going to select 56, enter. Line again, going to these 2 points right here. They're going to be 32, going upwards vertically, 32 millimeters. So 32. And again over here, 32. So you need to keep looking at your joint to see the areas that you already have. You can tell, I'm sure you can tell, that I already have these 2 lines, these 3 lines right here, the bottom one and the 2 vertical lines, as well as this long line right here and the vertical line over here, right? Now we're going to go ahead and connect the front face right here, because you realize that it can be connected. So we're just going to go ahead and connect it and go ahead and continue our joins, right? So yes, we're making good progress. Now we are going to select line, and what we're going to do, we're going to draw these lines going inwards, right? This is the line that we want to get. Now let me show you on the drawing. We want to get this line right here, highlighting green. Yes, this line right here we want to get, as well as the one that's over here. No, we do not know the measurement of that line. They did not give us the measurement of that line, but we know that the top face going straight across is 48, and we know that the one going, the full one at the bottom, is 108. Now 48 from 108 leave us with 60. So that is what the measurement down here is going to be. That's going to be 60 millimeters. So going across here, we're going to type 60 millimeters, enter. Just type 60, don't type the millimeters. Now, instead of joining it over the next side, I can just go ahead and copy this to the next endpoint, and it's going to be the same measurement. So instead of typing line again and join a new line, I can just copy it. Now, you can realize which parts of our join we have. So we're trying to get the front face right here, and we're now going to work on this section over here, this detailed part, right? Now we're going to select line again and select this line over the right side. Going inwards, going downwards, like what I'm showing you, I'm going to select 12 because it tells us right here that our tiny area, oh, sorry, that our tiny area right here is 12. We see the measurement down here. That's going to be 12. So select line, select the endpoint, going inwards, we're going to have 12. Did I say 10 or 12? Yes, it's 12. Sorry if I said 10. It's 12. Now, get in our little detailed section. We see the measurements. Going up with this small line right here, you cannot see, so I'm going to highlight it. Going up with this small line right here, it's 8 because that's what the measurement over here said. It's 8. And this section up here, it's 2, sorry, in centimeters, it would be 2.4. It's be 24 millimeters. So this would be 24 millimeters. Going down again, it would be 8 millimeters, and going across, it would also be 8 mil. It would be 12. Sorry, it would be 12 millimeters. Again, let me go again. So this section right here that's going across is 12 millimeters. This section that's going upwards, it's 8 millimeters. This section that's also going across would be 24 millimeters. And this section going down would be 8 millimeters. And again, this section going across would be 12 millimeters. So that's what we're going to do. And we already have this one that says 12 millimeters. So for this one, we don't have to stop and select line again. We can just do it in one go. So we're going to go up, and that's going to be 8 millimeters. Going across, that's going to be 24 millimeters. And going down, that's also going to be 8 millimeters. And going across again, that's going to be 12 millimeters. Now, if you realize when you go down, it can connect with this line with no problem, and it is going to be 90. It's going to be at a 90-degree angle. So once it's at a 90-degree angle and can connect perfectly with the next line, you will know that your measurement is absolutely correct. Okay, so you can see that we have the face. We have this face right here of the object. Now, what we want to get is this top part. That's what we're trying to get. But we don't have this line that's over here. But what we can tell is that this line over here, that's in the green highlight, this line over here is the same as this line over here. So what we can do is copy this line, copy it to the next point. Right. So we're going to copy it to the next line. Or we didn't just have to copy the line. We could delete this line, and we could copy the entire face to the next side. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this entire face right here, it's basically the same measurement, the same dimensions of the face that is supposed to be over here, because they need to match up. They need to be able to connect, So they would be the same measurement. So we could copy all of this and move it over to this point over here. And to know that we are correct with our measurements, what we can do is connect everything. We're going to try and connect everything and see if it's going to connect without an issue. Everything is supposed to be connecting at a 90-degree angle. So everything is supposed to be able to connect perfectly, which is what's going on right here. Everything is being connected perfectly without an issue. So the lines don't look crooked or out of place or anything. If the measurement was incorrect, what would happen is, if you're trying to connect one of them and you realize that the end point is somewhere over here, then obviously you would know that something is wrong with your measurements, because that's not what the drawing looks like. So the fact that it's connecting perfectly means that your measurements, they're correct. Connect the last one right here. Now going back to the join, we can see the details that we have. We have the top section. The only thing is that we are not seeing this part. This part is this section is in the join, you know, but we would probably represent this by a hidden line, with a hidden line. But since it's not in the join and we want to make our join exactly like this, duplicate it, we're just going to get rid of those lines right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this one, the vertical one, and the one right here that is highlighted. We cannot delete it, because if we delete it, it's just going to go away, and you will realize that there's a tiny line right here. There's a small line right here that you need. So we're going to just bring back that line. We're going to undo and bring back that line. So to get rid of it, what we're going to do is type trim, or TRI, enter. And we're just going to trim this section that we don't want. Just trim it. Escape. Now you have the face of your drawing, right? Okay, so now to get the tiny details that are right here. Where's my cursor? Okay, the box opening right here. So we're going to try and get these two lines right here going on the inside. This one as well as this one. The measurement for those lines is 10 millimeters. So going in 10 millimeters on one side and going in 10 millimeters on the other side as well. Right? Now, we need to go on we need to try and get the depth, the deepness or the depth of this box opening right here. Now it tells us that this line is going to be 24. Down, the line going down here is 24 millimeters. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this endpoint right here and go down, type 24, enter. Right? Now it's time to get these, my cursor is lost, these lines right here, this one over here and this one, and those are going to be 48 millimeters. So we're going to select line. Any point, we can start right here and we can start over here, but I'm going to start right here. And if you can tell, this is not going in the direction that I want it to go, so again, change the orientation, F5. Pull it in this direction, 48, enter. Again, over the next side, pull it in this direction, 48, enter. And they should be able to connect without a problem. So connected. Right. Now, if you realize, we have the face right here, the top part right here. We need to get the opening, the part in the gutter, like down in this part right here. We have some of that already, but we need to complete it, right? So we're going to select line, and we're going to select this endpoint right here and pull it out. Now we can actually cross it because we can trim it, but if we want, we can just select right here, but we can trim it. So I'm just going to cross it so that it is straight and neat, and I'm going to do that to this section as well over here, where I'm just going to cross it as well and trim it afterwards to the end point. So I'm going to select trim or type trim, enter, and trim this part, and just ensure that it lines up properly. So you can just go over to the image. Let me delete these lines. You can go over to the image and you will see that you have it right here. The dark part right here is the same as this part right here. No, we're missing one small detail. So there's this rectangle at the front right here, right? There's this rectangle at the front that we need. So what we're going to do, again, the measurement is 16 because 8 and 8 is 16. So we would offset this line right here downwards going 16. So let's try that. Oh, how did I get the 16? Let me ensure that you understand how I got the 16. So this line right here, this tiny line right here, is 8 millimeters. The one that's highlighted in, that I'm trying to highlight in green. That's 8 millimeters. And the space right here going down is also 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16, which means the space that this line is from the face, the plan view up here, is 16 millimeters. All right, so copy, going down, can change the orientation. Right, so going down, you can see, going down, we're just going to type 16, enter. It's in position. Now, we need this to be 24, sorry, not 2.4, 24 millimeters. Now, the face up here is already 24 millimeters, so we do not need to change. We do not need to change the line that we just copied. What we must do now is go down 16 because that's what the measurement on the image said. That the lines that are going down, they are 16 millimeters. Let me go back over and look. And we can just go ahead and connect it. 16. Go back to the image, as you can see right here. This line right here is supposed to be 16 millimeters. And if you want to know that you are correct, what you can do is extend this line right here, going in the same direction. Or you can select line, select this endpoint right here, and ensure that it's cross this line. So ensure that they're going in the same direction and and it's the same. So they're in the same direction, they're going in the same direction, and they also line up. So you can know that's how your measurement is correct. Alright, so now we have our drawing. Our drawing is complete. I don't see any more details that I should have, just the dimensions.
So guys, you have made it to the end of the video. I just want to thank you for watching, and if you have learned something from this video, don't be afraid to comment below and like this video. If you have any concern, any queries, anything that you want me to clarify, just comment in the comment section below. Share to a friend and another friend. Guys, stay blessed, stay focused. Okay, have a great week.